Hello everyone, Zeon here with another episode of Let's Talk About Things. It's gonna be a weird episode, I guess. I mean, kinda similar to the Star Wars Death Star thing, like Gundam. The very first series, Mobile Suit Gundam, Federation versus Zeon forces. How the how did Zeon lose? Like all the like all the miniseries, all the OVAs, all the shows, like they always show like the Zeon have superior technology, superior forces, and they just freaking annihilate the freaking Federation. Like the Zaku's completely destroyed their the Federation. They have like fighters and and the battleships. They all get annihilated by the Zeon Zaku's and the Zeon Zaku IIs and like they're because the Federation they have like balls, mobile workers or something, balls, and they have like saberfish and like probably all sorts of like spacecraft, like space jets and like fighter craft and tanks and stuff. And even their battleships get like utterly destroyed by the Zeon mobile suits. Like, is that even realistic? I think I might have mentioned this in the other video, but like, how does a freaking machine gun blow up all these ships? You know what I'm talking about? Like there's apparently like charges kicked one of them and it exploded. Like that's even more ridiculous. How weak is this ship? Like how weak are those freaking ships in Gundam? Because like all you have to do is like blow up the cockpit, like the bridge, whatever, like the people where all the crew is, you just kick that, you just shoot it, you just punch it, and the whole ship blows up. The whole wrecking ship. The ship is like 10 times bigger than a mobile suit. It gets blown up, explodes into like a ball of fire. I mean, I can understand when they're using like bazookas or something that's highly explosive, right? But like, how does a bullet make it explode? How does a punch or a kick make it explode? Yeah. Like if just the Zaku's themselves are so freaking powerful, how does the Federation even win? Because like whenever they do, like they have their pilots or whatever piloting the aircraft, the spacecraft, the balls, and then like later on they do get their own mobile suits, the GIMs or GM. I believe they're called GIMs in the anime, but yeah. Gyms or GM, whatever you wanna. It's spelled GM, but anyway, that's irrelevant. So like the explanation is the Federation had lots and lots of seasoned pirates, veterans. They've been using the gyms forever, and while the Zeon running out of their troops, and they got like nothing, no more ace pilots. They all got killed by the Gundam, by Amuro Ray. Yeah. But like, where does the Federation get the seasoned pilots from? Because like every episode, like any Federation forces gets instantly blown up by the Zaku's and the Doms and like everything. Like all the Zeon suits completely annihilate the Federation forces. Like, so where are these veterans coming from? The only veterans I see is from the Zeon side. Like the Federation forces, they don't survive pretty much any of the battles. They get completely annihilated. I mean, the Zeon forces get annihilated as well when the Gundam is around. But when the Gundam isn't around, Zeon just wipes the floor with the Federation, destroys all their tanks, their gyms, their balls, their aircraft, their spacecraft, their battleships. Yeah. And I read that Zeon is kind of like modeled off after Germany, where they kept on trying to build the next big thing, building super heavy tanks and etc. So in Gundam, they're trying to build like super heavy mobile suits and mobile armors. The big Rose, the big Zam, or whatever, like all that stuff, like trying to make bigger and badder. And who knows? Did they waste all the resources and time into that? Maybe they would have done better with just mass producing Zaku's and then, like, I guess go into the Doms and the Gelgoogs. Because by the end of the war, by the time the Gelgoog came out, they already lost the war, even though it was supposed to be more powerful than the Gundam and the gyms and etc. Like the Federation, all they did was just mass produce the gyms and the balls. That's it. The balls were basically mobile coffins. They're not even. They don't even count as mobile suits. They're just like construction pods converted to use for battle. That's like crazy. Like, I'm surprised the Federation lasted long enough to build their own mobile suits. Like, why couldn't the Zeon just come in, send the Zakus and freaking wipe, completely annihilate the forces? I guess that is the problem. Like, what kind of genius, or by genius I mean idiot, like wants to go travel into space and live there in a freaking colony? How did they even build those colonies? I'll discuss that not discuss, but I'll question that in a different video, right? Probably the next one. Yeah, like, where are they getting the resources to build all these mobile suits and battleships and everything? Like, why did they think they would have the manpower? You know, they had to travel like a bazillion light years away to come back to Earth to conquer it. Yeah, like, why are they so arrogant that they thought they could conquer Earth? I mean, they almost did. They conquered most of it, so I don't understand why they just couldn't conquer the rest of it. I guess, you know, there's logistics, manpower, and stuff like that. They don't have enough troops. They did, maybe for most of the war, the Zeon suits were much more powerful. The Zeon military was much more powerful, but they didn't have the resources to back it up. All the pilots, the military, to, you know, occupy all these forces. Maybe, I mean, they could have just did scorched earth and just destroy all the Federation forces. I mean, did Federation also have their own like colonies? I don't know. I think most of the colonies, the sides were like neutral in the conflict. Yeah. Like, yeah. So what would have happened if, you know, I sometimes think maybe if Zeon just focused on building the Zakus and Zaku IIs and that's it. That's it. Maybe later on build the Dom and Gelgoog, because those were pretty freaking powerful. At least in the original anime, they completely annihilate the Federation forces. There's nothing can stop them besides the Gundam and the white base. Or maybe, no. Like, that's kind of dumb. Like, Federation supposedly won because they made the super powerful Gundam and super powerful spaceship, and then it drew all the Zeon's forces and generals and ace pilots and most advanced technology to target on him, and then they all got destroyed. Like, that's still like a really long shot strategy. Apparently off screen the Federation forces were like completely annihilating the other Zeon bases and etc., which you never get to see. I mean, you probably only saw like 1 or 2 big battles. I think I forgot. I haven't watched the original anime in years. I mean, I remember the only Earth battle I remember, I think, is Jaburo, where they have like a massive Earth siege. I mean, they do expand it upon it, like, you know, the battles and stuff in the OVAs and stuff, and then you can see like, okay, the Federation doesn't lose all the freaking time. They do have some victories. They do have some, you know, their own forces and stuff. Like, there's the OAF MST, and they got like the ground gyms and the ground Gundams, you know, so it's not just one Gundam. And then there's War in the Pocket, there's the Alex Gundam, and then there's like space gyms and code gyms and like freaking colony gyms, like all sorts of gyms, like, and all sorts of Gundams and gyms and stuff like that. So it's not just one there's just not just one prototype being mass produced. I mean, not just one prototype being tested, not just one suit being mass produced. Yeah, although it might just be, it's the excuse to sell more toys, right? Sell more Gundam mono kits. You make like every time they make an OVA, they make brand new versions of the suits, variants and stuff like that. Like, in the original anime, I believe it's just the gym. He got the beam. Is it the beam rifle or the beam? No, he only got a beam pistol, not even the beam rifle. Got the beam pistol and the shield. And then later series and stuff like that, like Thunderbolt, 2 shields. Like, what? Is it the asteroids or something? Like, how come none of the other None of the other gyms have two shields. They all just have the one. Some probably don't even have that one shield. Yeah, like there's the ground gym. Basically, it's geared for space. I mean, not space conflict. Ground is space is geared for Earth conflict on the Earth. So it just has a regular machine gun. I get, yeah, because you don't need the beam technology to destroy freaking battleships. Just gotta destroy each other. Just destroy other Zakus and stuff. Yeah. And then later on, they add, like, I don't know which, it's probably, is it Zeta gun? I don't know. At some point, no. It might just be like a mobile, like, sometimes they don't even have it in the anime. They just make it like in the manga, or they just have like a book of the designs of like other variants and stuff, so then they can sell it. Like the gym cannon is basically the gym, but they like install the cannon onto it, I guess similar to the gun cannon is the gun cannon. But later on, confusingly enough, they do have a mass produced version of the gun cannon, and they have gym cannon too. So like, what was the point of making two of like the same role? Maybe it's a different company, I don't know, because different scientists and stuff involved and stuff, like especially in Mobile Suit Gundam or the Origin, they kind of like split up the Federation. Like there's Amuro Ray's dad, he's making the Gundam, and then the other people, like in the original anime, he makes the Gundam, the gun cannon, and the gun tank. But in the new anime, the new, like, it's like is it a retcon? It's prequel before the original series, but it definitely changes quite a few things. Like Amuro Ray's dad, he's making the Gundam, but the Earth Federation forces, they themselves already made the gun tank, and well, like early production version. Maybe Amuro's dad will like make the regular gun tank, and it's based on the Federation gun tank or something. It is labeled like gun tank early production type or something. And then they also have like the gun cannon first type or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. So in that anime, Federation forces, wait, I'm not too entirely sure. I did watch it, but you know me, I'm not always laser focus on task. I get distracted and thoughts wander. Yeah, so I'm almost positive the gun cannon was built by a different team, maybe. Because he was saying like, I'm warning you guys, like gun cannon is garbage, like, but then the general was like, hey, it's also your fault. So I don't know if he's developing the gun cannon or not. I don't know. Maybe he was part of the development team. I really should have researched that before, but okay, yeah. So basically, yeah, so like for like in the OVAs, the miniseries and stuff like that, they do add in more suits for the Federation, more technology, and it does show like in MS Igloo. You can go ahead and find some clips on YouTube. They actually show, you know, the Federation just using tanks and missile launchers. They're able to destroy a Zaku II. Yeah, so that's pretty fracking impressive. I really like that MS Igloo opening where I think it's the gravity front. Yeah, the gravity front, where it shows the Federation side and like it's like at first it's like World War II, like soldiers and tanks are like running across the no man's land, shooting each other with machine guns and stuff like that. No lasers or anything. Well, actually, yeah, I think the people themselves, they usually don't use any lasers. I think they all use machine guns in this series. Yeah. It's just the robots that use laser guns, but basically it's like World War II, like freaking, yeah, because it's like the Federation is basically the Allied forces, and the Zeon is German, the space Nazis, pretty much, but now it's on Earth. Anyway, so it's like the Zeon forces coming in, and then the airlift, or airdrop or space lift, like they're coming down from space into the ground, the Zakus and the parachutes and stuff, and they start destroying the Federation tanks. The Federation tanks are retreating and stuff, yeah, and then sometimes they get lucky and they can ambush the Zaku, yeah. So I guess the OVAs do expand upon it, so it makes us let's just see that it wasn't just the one Gundam. It wasn't just the one type of gym. There's all sorts of mobile suits, all sorts of prototypes, and all sorts of Gundams, and all sorts of pilots, fighting on different fronts. So it's not as lopsided as the original anime shows you. Like, in the original anime, definitely it looks like there's no way the Federation can win. They got completely destroyed in every single step of the way, every single battle. Yeah. Let me take a... So I think that pretty much covers it, right? How did the freaking Zeon forces not win? They had super overwhelming tech and etc. Military. Like, actually, how does that even work? How does a freaking colony have developed like super advanced technology that the Earth Federation couldn't? I mean, really, none of it makes any sense. But then again, I'm not a political expert. I'm not a military expert. I'm not an engineer expert or anything like that. I'm not a military expert. Yeah, I think I said that already. Like, I guess you gotta keep on advancing your new military. Gotta keep on researching, advancing military tech. For future threats. And that's exactly what Zeon was trying to do. They kept on trying to build new, big, better suits and armors and ships to try to destroy the freaking Gundam, to try to destroy the Federation. But maybe they went too much. Because, like, if you just stagnate, like the Federation just built the same thing over and over again. I mean, it did eventually win them the war, but, like, they lost many battles doing so. So, who knows? Maybe if Zeon just stuck to the good old Zakus, maybe they would have lost even anyway. Maybe they did better at first, but then they would lose. Or maybe the battle would just be stalemated for a long time, the war. Until whoever creates the next big thing. Like World War II. Bam! Nuclear missiles, that's the next big thing. Completely wiped out. I mean, not wiped out, but nuked the crap out of Japan. And then bam! They instantly surrendered. That's probably what Zeon was trying to do. Yeah. Okay, so that's enough rambling. So that's all the time we got for this episode. So hopefully everyone's enjoying this series. If you like or dislike this video, be sure to let me know down below. So to let me know what you think. Do you think, I mean, not that I want Zeon to win since they're essentially space Nazis, but like, I don't know. It seems like the anime made it seem like they were really powerful and they had the better, better military technology and the pilots and the military staff and etc. Like, I don't know. Or yeah, I guess it's not just just that, not just the numbers, not just the technology. Like, America definitely has the best guns, best tanks all the time. Or like, maybe not all the time, but for the past few years or at least decades. But they still lose battles. They still lose wars. I mean, maybe they don't lose wars, but there's wars that they can't win because, like, you can have the most advanced guns, tanks, etc. It's not just the technology. Sometimes there's manpower, logistics, politics, and all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, like local forces. You gotta resist. Maybe that's what kept the Federation alive. Like, this is our Earth. This is our planet. We'll keep on fighting to the last man. Like, even if we have the crappy gyms and balls and yeah, Saberfish and etc. Yeah, anyway, so tell me what you think down below. Subscribe, comment, rate the video, and hit that bell notification icon for more videos. Yeah, as always, thank you for watching. Until next time, bye bye.